Tell me what it takes to be the big boss. Put the pieces all together like a jigsaw. I'm on a different level, I don't think small. I remember when my mama had the clicks card. DSTV decoder getting switched off. Can't even get my Super Sport Blitz on. When I left baby mama, she took the shit hard. Might as well turn the drama into a hit song. Composure, composure, that ain't a diss song.
AKA was one of the most prolific artists to ever come out of South Africa. He was once in a generation pop icon that blew millions of fans with timeless music. His ability to produce, write, arrange, sing, and kill performances has captured the hearts and minds of this generation and will influence the next generation long after his passing. His legacy continued to inspire. It's clear that AKA accomplished his goal of being a great and influential musician. Recently, MT said he aspires to be like AKA in terms of his music and stardom. A week before his passing, Aries mentioned on DJ Smooth's podcast that his dream collaboration was working on a project with AKA. Almost every big artist now has no problem admitting that AKA influenced them one way or another, be it through music, fashion, career move, or handling brand deals. We can make a whole documentary about AKA's death, and there's many videos that talk about this stuff on the internet. But on this video, we're gonna focus strictly on what was AKA like in the studio. We'll take a look at the different session the Super Mega had while working on his album, and also hear from people like Pop Pops, Nasty C, Casper Nyovest, and more. There's actually several videos of AKA working in the studio, especially between 2017 and 2022 when he was working on Be Careful What You Wish For with Anati, Touch My Blood, and You Are Welcome with Costa Titch.
Remember our motto of this camp: let's not get too musical.
But let's get into what makes AKA so legendary in the studio. AKA started making music in 2002 with his friend Greyhound and vice versa. They had a group called Entity, which secured a record deal and became very successful in the early 2000s. He started rapping when he was just 14 years old, and he passed away at the age of 35 years, which means for 21 years straight, AKA has spent the majority of his time in the studio. Here's what Pop Pops had to say about AKA's music.
I give it up to Kenan for making timeless music. That's what he does, and that's why he takes time to cook the stuff, because he makes it, he produces it, he feels it.
In 2006, after he finished his matric, AKA went on to study sound engineering and music production, which enhanced his music knowledge and sharpened his skills. One thing AKA always did was reference South African heritage in his music. This knowledge is evident if you look at most of his catalog.
It was really cool. I'm passionate about making music. I'm passionate about art. I'm passionate about trying to be a better version of myself every day. I think that hunger and desire to want to do more and to never be satisfied, that's what keeps me successful. The endorsements and all the deals and stuff like that stuff is cool, but without music it doesn't mean anything. So I always remember to keep the main thing, and that's the music.
The Super Mega was also a sample genius. His ability to sample old school South African music and turn it into bangers was out of this world. Take a look at a song like All Eyes on Me, for example, which sampled Brenda Fassie. My favorite AKA sampled song is Kaifa's song. Let me know in the comment section which song you think AKA sampled beautifully. Because AKA singed, rapped, and produced, he was very particular about his music. From the instrumental, mixing, writing, or even simple things like vocal projection, he was very particular about making music. He was one of the few South African artists who camped in the studio with songwriters and multiple producers with the goal of creating new innovative music. For instance, his 2014 song Congratulate included backing vocals from JR, and his song Sweet Fire from Touch My Blood was written by Younger Chief.
It's based on the music, which is the main calling. of what we do, which is like the backbone of what we do. I think AKA should have been number one. And yet again, it's not me discrediting Casper. But I just think if it was based on music, I think AKA should have been number one.
When it came to his ideal studio environment, AKA loved having other artists around him in the room to bring new energy and inspiration. He also didn't mind working with big international names or specific people on the continent. If you impress him, he works with you. AKA was the best executive producer in South Africa has ever seen, in my humble opinion. He was very selective when it came to features. He knew what artists to fit in what song, and he always tagged along some of the greatest producers in the country. Alongside MT and Questa, his feature run is crazy and has launched rappers such as Younger Chief, and he's the guy who brought back Dalez. Although AKA spent much of his time in the studio, his project came in 2 or 3 years intervals because he was a perfectionist and he wanted everything to sound exactly how he wanted it to sound. But it seemed most of AKA's perfectionist tendencies came from internal place with expectations or pressures from himself. AKA loved making music so much that when he was hosting the Bryce show, he recorded and released 2 EPs, one solo and one with the late Costa Teach. Although he was not lyrically focused rapper, he never sacrificed the quality of his music for anything. But one important note from AKA was that he also wouldn't be stuck on just one idea of making music or let perfectionism slow him down from creating any music. Even though he took his craft seriously, AKA was always having fun in the studio. His sessions were built off the energy that's surrounding him and the energy he omitted to the others. And that energy transfer often came in the form of jokes or even dancing sometimes. Even though he loved having other people around in the studio, AKA was the main source of energy in every studio session. He always charged up the room, and he did that consciously. Many people talk about how AKA knew he was going to leave this earth before it happened, and how this contributed to him drafting and creating his album Mass Country in a specific way. I guess we will never know. However, AKA is once in a generation soul. He inspired so many people that his impact on this world is hard to even measure. But seeing all of this footage and viewing all of these people talk about his work ethic, none of it was simply handed to him. Here is a video of his longtime rival, Casper Nyovest, talking about having songs with AKA.
I've always been a fan of good music. I think with this project of Keenan, it's so hard for me because it's like, geez, like, you know, like people don't even understand how hard it was for me to be okay or make music. We actually do have music together that people have never heard. Yeah, so those are like golden songs that maybe Ganja Beats only have.
Ganja still has the man.
Yeah, Ganja.
Coming for you, my boy.
Do you think those songs will ever be released? Let us know in the comment section. AKA's talent was God-given, but the work was created by AKA on a daily basis, and he did not let his opportunity on this earth go to waste even for a second. AKA will go down in history as one of the greats, but when it comes to his studio sessions, I think he did things we will never see again. For Wave Entertainment, I am Kepitizi. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. Let us know which song you would have loved to be in the studio while AKA was recording it in the comment section. Let us know which other artists we should cover on this series. Also, you can check out some of my music in the description. Until next time, stay safe guys.